Child, I don't know what I'm doing, but we gonna give this a shot. My name is Kim, and welcome to This Life in 4K. Hey, friend. So today, it is April 1st. The kids are back at school. Hallelujah. It's been a long spring break. So I wanted to start getting more prepared. I am in the Chicagoland area, Zone 5B. They changed their zone, so it's not quite ready to plant outside yet, but I did put out some collard green seeds outside, some lettuce seeds. I did start my potatoes outside, and oh, there's a spider hanging down. Hold on one second. Okay, so where was I? I don't do spiders. I have potatoes outside at my home garden, and it looks like the collard greens are trying to sprout. I'm not quite sure. It's still been kind of chilly here. I know collard greens and lettuces and things like that. Like the cold weather, I said, let's try. But for the most part, I started my seeds indoors. I have up potted a few of my seeds because they got bigger. Please, don't judge me on the mess on my windows. I have not labeled these properly, but this is a couple of weeks. I have some beans that have been started. They're ready to go outside. So spring with your funky, you need to come on. And I have some more beans right here. My broccoli, even though it was sitting in the window, it was still growing crazy, but we'll see what's going on. But these need to be up potted. This is some more broccoli. That is, let's see what it is. Broccoli. And then this right here, tomato plant. I believe that's another tomato plant. I think this was a small variety and a larger variety. And then I got some other plants here. Another day I'll go over the plethora of house plants that I have. And I have a Hoya just sitting there chilling. But if I come over here, yes, we're on YouTube University right now. Hey, girl. I have some more of my plants that's going to be heading outside, whether it's my home garden or at the community garden. My sunflowers, they said it's not enough sun for me. They're just not happy with the situation. They're growing, but not happy. But I have more tomato plants. This drawer is another drawer I'm going to go into that has things growing that need to be upcycled. I reuse these organizers, and it actually helps really good to germinate a lot of my seeds. It has the drawer so I can close it and things like that, but my carrots have gotten too tall, and it's time to up pot them. I have another drawer. Hopefully I don't mess nothing up. I have another drawer right here, but nothing sprouted. So I'm going to try again, use the same soil, wet it, put some more seeds in. On my windowsill in the back, if you see all the way back in the back, I got dill on one side and basil, I believe, on the other. Let's see if I can bring it over here. I have some lavender that's over there, and then I have a grape plant that I bought at the local Meijer store that we have here, and it's starting to have some babies, so I'm happy with that. Now, anything that's in the green cup, I did have it like this, and they just got upplanted to those. One of the disadvantages I've had with starting seeds inside my home has been ants. Ants are really bad. I'm not the only house that's dealing with it, and I know a lot of people deal with ants. And I can have my regular house plants, no problem, the ants don't attack it, but the minute I start having vegetables, that's when they want to go all crazy. Last year I had started seeds and the ants had went after all my vegetables. I just threw them all away, and they were growing really good. And I hate having to just buy, because I didn't even want to start over. I was just disgusted. So I just went to a garden center and bought the plants that I had needed. But we also had a lot of volunteer plants that also helped. We had too many volunteer plants, and I didn't have the heart to get rid of them. So we just had a little bit too much at the community garden. This year, when I did it, I said I'm going to put them in the windowsill, see what happens. And boom, it took maybe 24 hours. Ants was all over my windowsill attacking the plants that I had there. I went online, and first, you know, you want to try to cover up the scent marks where they're going, so I was wiping it down with bleach. And then there's like, I had tea tree oil, all kinds of things trying to get rid of the ants to deter them. And nothing, is just the ants were bad. And finally, I Googled, and they said to keep sliced onions, you have to refresh them, but just keep them around where you don't want them. They don't like the smell. They're not going to go. And that was what really helped, the sliced onions. I was refreshing the onions every 2 days, and then I got tired of doing that. But I was bottom watering the plants. The onions were getting rehydrated, and then at one point the onions, I had one onion inside of the actual dirt, and I was just watering it, and that still helped deter the ants. I have not had an issue with ants in over 2 weeks. I have not had an issue. Hopefully I can hold out until I can get these babies outside. Right now I'm going to repot 2 of these plants. This one, the writing probably came off. So this is a garden bean. I'm going to repot this into a larger pot. Now before, I was using just the plastic cups, as you saw. When I went back to the dollar store today, I was going to get those, but then they had a 12-pack of these for $1.25, and this is better for me because it already has the holes in it, so I can water from the bottom. Whereas the plastic cups, I had to poke holes at the bottom, and it was just extra work. And these are smaller, and hopefully I could fit, you know, in more spaces. I'm kind of running out of space to where to keep these plants. I wish I had a sunroom or something so they could be out there, but I don't. So they're mixed in everywhere in my home. But hopefully we can get out here and get it done. I want to do more plants, but I currently don't have enough potting soil to do as many plants as I want. But these are the bigger ones, and right now these are my priorities. So the garden bean, and then this is supposed to be broccoli. Let's see. Oh no, I was wrong. I said this was broccoli. This summer squash. OMG, summer squash. Baby, let me tell you. Cucumbers hate me. I don't know what it is. Me and my friend have tried for 2 years to grow cucumbers. We'll get a few that cucumber plant will die. We looked up, you know, as far as companion plant. They don't like tomatoes. Okay, one year they were by tomatoes. The different insects and pests that could come after them, mildew, all this, and we just was babying it. And I don't want to have to sit there and worry about if a cucumber plant is going to live. Now, all of that was at the community garden. Here at my home, I have planted summer squash. That summer squash was amazing, and it still has the flavor of the cucumber. That's what I'm doing. Now, my friend wants to try again with cucumber. Baby, bye. I ain't got time for that. I'm not doing this. I'm also clumsy. I often wonder when I see these videos on YouTube how everyone is doing something and they don't break a plant, and they could be rough with a plant and the plant's just fine. I could sneeze on a doggone plant and that plant will break in some way, shape, or form. So I'm not gonna fill this up. I think I've only filled it, I don't know, about 2/3 of the way. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a professional gardener, so I'm not gonna be like, I'm using spring water or whatever. Look, I had company over yesterday, and they didn't drink up all their water from the water bottle they had. So honey, that's what I'm about to use. But I need to put something underneath this to catch the water. I guess I'll use this. I use water from the tap. I do have rain barrels. Because it's not quite time, my rain barrel is still open, so it's not catching all this wonderful rain that we've had. I'm going to wet this soil a little bit, let the water run out. And then my beautiful Beautiful. Now, technically, they claim that this is biodegradable and you could just plant directly into the dirt. I'm not trusting that. I do have like 2 plants in each pot. This little bean is trying to grow, so we're gonna keep that in there. And I'll just plant it a little bit better. And maybe by the time we're really ready to go outside with this, the little baby will have decided to grace us with this presence. So I'm just going to peel this away. And the little root ball is falling apart because why not? It's me. Why would it not fall apart? All right. We're going to stick it right in there. There you go. There's your new home. Give you some more dirt. Then I'm going to give you your little baby back. Plant you back in there. Give you some more water. I did it without breaking anything. I'm so proud of myself. And now you have to stay happy. You have to stay happy. Please stay happy. Baby, we got maybe 2 more weeks. I think I looked at the next 10 days as far as our forecast, and we're still going to have lows in the 30s at night, but it's slowly getting warmer. But we just had our 2nd winter. We might have a 3rd, but who knows? The way that this weather is so crazy. Anything can happen at any given moment. But I'm just hoping that I can get out in the garden. I'm so jealous. I'm looking at all my YouTubers that are in the warmer states, and they, you know, were able to keep their cabbage and their collard greens out during the winter time, or even just plant them early and they're harvesting. And here I am just at this stage. Sometimes we talk about moving to a warmer climate, but truth be told, some of these warmer climates had a worse winter than we had here, because we barely had any snow. I probably only had to wear like a really heavy coat maybe once or twice during this winter. It wasn't bad, but I'm a big girl, so I'm already insulated anyway. Okay, so there's one. And I got to make sure to keep this because my slow butt will forget what it is. I've been trying to be good at staying up on my labeling, because sometimes Google Lens does not get it. But again, I filled it up, wet it. Now this one, it has a plant that's growing, but this bean has already came out of its little shell. But he hasn't straightened up yet. So I don't want to mess with him too much. He'll figure it out. And if he doesn't figure it out before we plant, I'll plant him just like that, and maybe the natural outside air will encourage him to get it together. This one came out very pretty. Look at that. Oh, you came out so pretty. Okay. I love it. So put that in there. Now, I started gardening. You know, COVID has been, if you're even allowed the C word, has been the start of a lot of people's hobbies. COVID definitely started my houseplant hobby. And it's still amazing. My mom always talks about how she's amazed at all the plants I have that I could keep alive. Because I used to have a brown thumb. And me and plants, it wasn't where I was at. They did not want to live with me. Gardening happened 2 years ago. You know, the prices of food going up, and I just really wanted something to do. I wanted to grow my own food, and I just wanted to have it. And I was looking at these YouTube channels, and I was like, I can do this. If I can keep a house plant alive, I can learn how to do this with garden plants. And one of the things, I'm not really into astrology too much, but sometimes some of this stuff rings true. I am a Gemini, and I am going to find something to do, fixate on it, like my life depended upon it, learn it ins and out. I may get bored of it and drop it, and I may not. I kept my house plants. I'm going to keep this garden. And plus, this hobby is too expensive of a hobby just to drop like a bad habit. All right, so I have these two ready. And then we're going to move on to the summer squash. So YouTubers that I have watched as far as gardening is concerned that has really been helpful to my journey, Yellow Door Homestead has really been a channel that has inspired me to do the home gardening. And it's been a couple of others. I can't even think of all their names, but you know, maybe I'll plaster some of the YouTube channels so you guys can take a look. But very insightful channels that I have come across. A lot of them are homesteads. Me and my boo have talked about homesteading, but that's a lot of work. And I love the idea, but baby, we have 2 dogs, and that's a lot of work to keep up on, and I don't feel like we keep up on the 2 dogs, and I'm not gonna bring farm animals into this life and, you know, not wanting to get up, but I know the chickens need to eat and things like that. I just have to be realistic with myself. I can be a little lazy sometimes. Now this summer squash, there was 2 plants in this one, but I'm sure that my heavy-handedness got to it at some point, and one of the plants that was growing really well, got bent at the stem and it broke off. So I left the roots in there, but I just cut it at the point where it broke off. Oh, you're in there real good. Look at you. Look at my little summer squash. Yeah. All right, we're going to put you in your new home. I hope that you straighten out. I really wish you would just straighten out. You said, nope, not today, Miss Ma'am. Not today. Anybody have a habit that they do when they're concentrating? Because I know one thing I try not to do while I'm on camera, but I know it's gonna come forth because I felt it. I chew on my tongue. It's so weird. So if you see me doing that, it's because I'm heavy, deep in thought. I can't explain it. Some people chew on the inside of their cheeks. I don't know, but it's just, I've always done it. It's just, it is what it is. So if you see me doing something, you're thinking I'm eating something, please don't come for me. I know what I'm doing. It's a habit that I've had for quite some time. All right, there's the summer squash, number 1, and number 2. The soil that I'm currently using was just something that I grabbed. I was at Walmart one day, and it's called Jiffy Natural and Organic Seed Starting Mix. I know they say you should use the seed starting mix, but let me tell you something. Before I got this, all I had was some orchid mix. And I was impatient. I'm a very impatient person. And I said, I'm going to use this orchid mix. I'm going to use what I have to do the seeds. And the seeds grew. They grew in the orchid mix. When I did get this seed starting mix, I did just add it to the top of it. But I didn't add anything else. I didn't put perlite. I didn't put this. I didn't put that. I didn't do any of this extra stuff. I just, the seed starting, and it is what it is. Maybe one day when I get my she shed and the greenhouse that I want and all that, I can be extra and have this perfect soil mixture for my seed starts and everything of that nature. But until then, I'm just going to do what I do. Ooh, that came out nice. Yeah, you were ready. Again, I hope with putting it in a bigger pot, these babies will start to straighten out. to sit up? You don't want to sit up? Yeah, maybe. Not so much. You don't know? You don't want to get your life? I'm gonna use some of this water. And now I'm going to go to that seed tray that didn't have anything sprout up, and I'm going to get my seeds and I'm going to replant because I have plenty of time to do it to see if it works. So, uno momento, por favor. All right. Oh, and I forgot my seeds, but I'll go get them in a minute. Hopefully my labels held up so I know what's what. Oh, it's so dry. After a while, I just gave up and I didn't even water it anymore. So what is this? Oh, this was a type of basil, okay. Cinnamon basil. This was a serrano pepper. None of my peppers seem to have sprouted. The only pepper that I could get to sprout was a habanero. Okay, green jalapeno. Bell peppers. Oh no, that's banana pepper. Bell pepper, more jalapeno. I don't know why I started so many jalapenos. Like, my butt is not gonna be that happy. More jalapeno, girl, you crazy. I live by a really busy street. It's a main street. My backyard butts to it. And because it's a long street, people think it's like a drag racing strip. So that's crazy. Anyway, more peppers, banana peppers, bell peppers, bell peppers, bell peppers. Did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I need my bell peppers. That I do need. It was, last year it was amazing. I did not have to buy anything for my Thanksgiving Day prep. Like, it was, that was very satisfying. I even went out into my garden because I still had some collard greens that were still around in November, and I was able to pick those for Thanksgiving dinner. Didn't have to buy anything. It was just, I loved it. Loved it. But bell peppers, and oh, I had celery, didn't have to buy that. Green onions. Now with green onions, all I do is, or what I have done, is just buy them from the store, and then I put them in water, put it right in the dirt, and just keep it going. Last year with my onions, they got so big and pretty. I went to YouTube University with my minor in TikTok Academy, and I, learned how to dry them for over the winter. So I kept them, and I planted some about a month ago outside, and they took and they grew. It was so amazing to see something dried and shrivel up just grow life again. Loved it. So hopefully, I tried to keep just the portions of the biggest green onions that I had, in hopes that it will grow just like that this year. Really, really hope. But I'm gonna go get my seed box and see if I can restart some of these seeds. It's amazing that my dogs are so quiet. They're letting me be great. I love it. All right. So this is currently where I keep my seeds. This dollar store toolbox. I need something bigger because I'm collecting more seeds. The ones that are in brown containers like this were seeds that came from the plants that I grew last year, and I saved them to see if I could try to get them to work. And that's where a lot, and I'll show them later, and it did work. It did grow. And then others, the dollar store seeds, they all right by me, baby. They grew just fine. So a lot of these are dollar store seeds. And then also, like for Earth Day, my kids come home with seeds from school. They send them home with seeds. Usually it's a form of basil. And I keep those and I grow them. I'll go to Menards and they have some cute seeds and things like that. But I'm rambling. Tomatillos. I did not sow any tomatillo plants because I found out that those things just pop up anywhere, and I know that is going to be a tomatillo plant that pops up at my community garden, so I'm not even worried about doing that. And really, I shouldn't even started any tomato seeds because there will be tomato plants that pop up. I think last year we had, in a 10 by 10 space, we had maybe 6 volunteer tomato plants that popped up, and we kept all of them. It's just so stupid. These are mammoth sunflower seeds. That's what is over there. I don't know if when I finally plant those sunflowers outside, if they're going to straighten up. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I should try to start some more, or maybe I'll just do it direct. So I have jerk squirrels, and I have tried to plant sunflowers 2 years at my home. The first year I had them in a pot. They grew nice. I think I planted 2. And then one morning I went and I looked, and the head was completely gone. It was gone. The second one, maybe about 2 weeks later, I think a squirrel jumped on it and he bent it and it died. And I was like, are you serious? Last year I planted 2 at my home. One never grew. Another one did sprout, but again, it looked like a squirrel jumped on it. It maybe had gotten up to about 3 feet tall. A squirrel jumped on it, broke it off, so I was just like, forget it. I don't know if I'm going to do sunflower seeds again in my home. I don't know. And we usually always have sunflower seeds at the community garden. But as much as I love the community garden, there are thieves. And they can't just let you be great. If you're growing a big, beautiful sunflower, please believe that someone's going to come and chop that head off when it gets to its height and take it. And the first year that happened, I was like devastated. I was so mad because it was our best sunflower. I think we had like 5 or 6 sunflowers, and they just chopped the head off of the best one. And it took the wind out of our sails. Last year, what we did was put all the sunflowers in the middle, so it was harder to reach. Now, we did have someone come and break our lock in the beginning of the season and at the end of the season. At the beginning of the season, when we found out that we saw that someone broke our lock, they had stole some of our little tiny baby plants that I was like, I don't even know what was the point of that, but nothing else was touched. Second time, when it was towards the end of the season, I mean, it was almost time to clean it up anyway. I couldn't tell if they took anything, but it's just a simple fact that someone's going, taking the time to break your lock. And how we had it locked up, and you'll see when I do my garden video, but we have the T-posts next to each other, and then we made a makeshift door from a dog crate, and we had jute twine wrapped around a lot. So in order to get that off, you really have to have scissors to cut it because it's so thick. And then we would feed the lock through it. It was like a cord combination lock. And someone cut it. It's like you're purposely doing it. It was so disheartening. And at that point, I was like, you know what? It's the end of the season. That day, I just pulled everything up, harvested what I could, and just cleared out the lot because I was just like, this is so annoying. And so this year, we're going to try to find out another way to lock it by using all metal. So they can't cut it, they can't unscrew it, they can't do anything. Like, it's going to be too difficult. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm going to go toot toot. Our garden is one of the most well-kept gardens outside of the actual garden club. And sometimes we could be at the garden and we'll see people walking by because it's a trail and they're looking, and people want to treat it like it's a grocery store, which is so ridiculous because anybody that's there, we will give you what we have. It's so much is grown that we can't possibly use it all. The garden club does donate a lot of the tomatoes and some of the vegetables that they have to food pantries. But me and my friend will be up there harvesting tomatoes and peppers, and we'll have a crap ton of them. And even one time there was these ladies walking around, and we could tell they were trying to take some. And so we asked if they wanted some because we had stuff to give, and we had a plastic bag, and we gave them a plastic bag full of vegetables. And then they still walked down to another garden and took some stuff from somebody else. Like, it's crazy to me. But anyway, off subject, mammoth sunflowers. I don't know if I'm gonna try it. Oh, OMG, I'm making a mess. All right, gooseberry. My mommy bought me some gooseberries. And I said, "Ooh, this is good." And I looked up. I said, "We could grow this in our area. It's called a Cape gooseberries." And I kept the seeds, and they sprouted all stupid. I'm so glad I did that. I'm gonna just keep growing them. Gooseberries are in the same family as the tomatillos. They grow in like this husk type of shell, and when they drop, you know, they're ready to be picked. And oh, they're sweet. It's like a combination of like a tomatillo and a grape. It's just, I love it. All right, let's start from here. So what I'm gonna do is with these, let's see if I can move this out of the way. All right, gotta wet it because it's like bone dry. Let that soak in. Mix this up. I'm gonna need some more water. Hold, please. All right. So got so dry and compacted. All right. So bell pepper. I'm only gonna put 2 little seeds in each container. Because in theory, I only need maybe about 6 plants. Have to keep an eye on the time, because I'm one of those neurotic parents that get to the school an hour early just to sit there to wait for my baby to get out of school. You know, why wait like the other children? Your mommy right there waiting for you, baby. All right, so I'll put that back in there, and then jalapeno. Why did I plant so many? I don't know. I don't need all these jalapenos. Well, or maybe I do. The best thing that I came up, pickled jalapenos. I love doing that. Another thing that kind of sucks about my garden, because I grow so much, my family, especially the younger children, they don't eat the vegetables like they should. It's just so crazy, because if you're, you know, in an older age group, if our parents gave us something to eat, you don't eat it. And I am a little softer, but these kids, if it don't come from a restaurant, half the time they don't want it. And I try to be that stern parent, like, you're gonna sit there and eat, and after a while I'll be like, I don't care, make you a bowl of cereal, because I'm not. I used to make 3 and 4 different dinners, and that got old real fast. Luckily, the oldest one with us, he's 11, he has learned how to make some things, so, you know, he could put some things in the oven if he wants chicken nuggets or Totinos or whatever. He can make himself some ramen noodles. It's not the healthiest thing, but it is what it is. But he has learned to do that. Macaroni. And again, baffles my mind, because they call it Thanksgiving food. I can make some bomb macaroni, baked macaroni, you know the macaroni that we make. And he won't eat it, and then he'll rather sit there and make some macaroni with artificial cheese dust in a pot and talk about, that's good food right there. Are you kidding me? Like, we talking about melted cheese and all kinds of stuff just all together in a heavy cream and the seasoned Cajun baked macaroni. And you telling me that you rather have this dust dyed foolishness, like that's better than what I just did? I don't think so, buddy. You're not about to gaslight me into believing that foolishness. No, sir. I got soil all over the floor. But I think that's all I'm gonna do today. But for real though, I cannot. Like, I am so proud of myself. So proud. I'm gonna be beans, the musical fruit. I'm gonna be beaning it up. All right, so that's pretty much what I wanted to get done today. So I guess thank you for listening to me ramble on and be extra weird. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.